this?
You know, Alex, I think what I want to do here is I'm going to say complexity.
Really?
I have to. I really want to see
Bandwagon
SB.
jumper.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Exactly. I really want to see SB come back. I would love to see that, but I think complexity, especially after that dominance on the second half of Blitz, is going to have a very nice start here. Karma switching it up here, and I think that this team is simply going to come out hot, quick, and that's going to be a problem for Strictly Business, who have gotten very quiet.
Yeah, well, you know, I will play devil's advocate on this one. And I will say that I think Strictly Business, based on that strike zone domination game, they can come back into this one.
Very good
but
point.
Here's the thing, though, right? And this is something that really does play a factor. Octane plays completely different in comparison to strike zone. You're moving at such a fast and frantic pace on strike zone, while Octane, it's not so much the case here. I mean, yeah, you know, things are going pretty quick, but the space is not as small, you know. But with that said, Strictly Business, they were able to cap the B flag. That's not going to happen anymore as Aches and company, they're making sure that they can get that one right back. TP's going to be in there. He does manage to get that one capped, but Karma's going to be by himself, finding one flare, checking his right side. He's going to get cleaned up, and now it's going to be left up to Aches to watch inside of B. He does manage to find one, can't connect with the second, and it seems like we do have that neutralization on the flag, thus keeping this game very close.
Yeah, and we're on board with Karma right now. He's going to be trying to move over here and set up, and it looks like what his squad is going to try to do is take this B flag right now, and if Complexity is able to do that and try to push forward and hold this 2-cap, they're going to be in a very nice position to take over the game. But Strictly Business at the same time, you see them kind of flanking around and using a bit of maneuvering to try to get into these 1v1 gunfights, and that's because SB feels that their gunplay is actually a little bit better than Complexity's. That's up to you guys, the fans, to decide, but SB definitely has some shots on their team with Saints and Fierce. We're looking at Karma still, though, getting into a gunfight, dipping out. He's going to go down, try to catch him, but he gets shut down. Great play by Strictly Business and great anticipation right there, figuring that Karma was going to drop down to try to avoid the gunfight, and TP engaged in one of his own. He goes down, and Strictly Business trying to make something happen.
You know, to revisit that thought that you had earlier about that gun skill, you know,
yeah.
Honestly, I think Strictly Business can go toe-to-toe with them. Are they better? I don't think so, of course, because no one at this point, and the stats prove it, is better than Complexity. But I do feel that Strictly Business, they can go toe-to-toe with them when they're hot. Absolutely. I think a lot of the teams here at UMG Philadelphia can, you know, go toe-to-toe with Complexity. We saw it last night with FaZe. You know, we saw it last night with FaZe. And honestly, I think that this matchup is just going to be very, very close. But Complexity, they are in a position where they could potentially, you know, take it away here from Strictly Business. I kind of just feel that SB, they don't go down without a fight. I'll be surprised if that's the case here. Seems like B is going to get contested. Aches on the move.
Yeah, Aches such a good player, knows the anticipation, able to pick up the kill, and Complexity has stayed before that they love when other teams use smokes. Karma 11-5. I think we have to switch over to him here, Alex, when he's coming off the respawn. See what he's able to do. And Karma is going to try to make something happen here, but we're still on board. Moving over here, and Karma's going to be looking down there, using the thermal to his full advantage. He spots one, puts in the shots, and this is why they love when other teams use smokes, because Karma is lethal when it comes to using that thermal. You see Saints picking up one, but Complexity still holding the 2-cap strong, but it looks like now a little bit of contesting here, and it looks like someone over near that C spot is trying to take it, and we do see Complexity trying to move back to A, take this while they are losing it, and it looks like SB actually has switched it and taken the 2-cap, but look, someone from Complexity is over on B, and Karma's making his move in here. Looking at TP, though, as TP is trying to make his own move with that MTAR. He's going to try to push forward and look to make a move over here back at their base, and him and Karma are going to jump on that flag.
Yep, seems like Complexity are going to be on top of this one, keeping the game very close. I know we've been on board with Complexity quite a bit here, but they have been on the move and answering back. But let's jump over to Fears of Strictly Business. 10-7 right now. Saints on the other side, 9-7 with 5 captures. So again, this is the thing, right? They are managing to take this map, Octane, that, you know, it's not as small as Strike Zone, and oh, that double could have happened there, but they end up managing to clear it up. Fears is going to be inside, and it seems like C was getting contested, and they have lost it. So Strictly Business, they do not have their, let's see, they actually lost their home flag. That's never a good thing here. No one's going to be by B for that contest. Oh, yeah, I spoke too soon. Someone ended up getting cleaned up on that one. They need that home flag back right away because it's going to be a 21-point lead for Complexity going into half of this raid.
Yeah, and I think the thing that SB needs to do is utilize their Slayers to their full potential. Apathy's playing a little bit of support right now. He's struggling a little bit, but what you see is that Fears and Saints are both very versatile players. Saints playing a little more of the roaming Slayer, trying to go around, pick up these captures, be very aggressive with his slaying. Fears playing a little bit more passive. Great job right there, and they are going to close it out, and it looks like Complexity is going to go on the other side with the lead.
A 24-point lead, if I'm correct. You know, math isn't my strong suit. Basic math, of course. I tend to struggle at that, but you know, I think most casters struggle at it, which is hilarious enough. But I want to point this out here: Crim6, 5-14, Apathy 8-14. You know, we talked about that before, or 8-15, excuse me. These are two players who are very strong Slayers for this team, but it speaks to both squads when someone else is able to pick up the slack. Now, on Strictly Business's side, while they were not able to, you know, come out with the W, and in fact, they're down 24 points into the half, still though, look for Apathy to turn things around going into the next game, because he needs to. His teammates, they did work, they did what they could, but now it's time for him to play his role as well.
Yeah, and I mean, Apathy is going to be someone that we are definitely going to have to look at, like you mentioned. He's going to be the one that it really comes down to. If Apathy's able to pick it up, especially like we saw him earlier in the games, he was playing so well. He was on fire. It's really going to come up to him, and if he's able to switch his gameplay around, be able to come back and really lead Strictly Business. But, I mean, they have a mountain to climb with the deficit.
Yeah, they certainly do, and let's take a look here and see. I mean, thinking about Complexity as well. Thinking about Complexity and you know how they played on that last one, it was very, very similar to what we saw in Strike Zone for Strictly Business. Every time Complexity or Strictly Business looked like they had a breath of fresh air, Complexity just came right in there and just farted in their face, essentially. You know, no more fresh air for you. You now have funky smell. And they took it away from them, and now this is just not a good look here. 24-point lead, Paradox, going into this half. I think Complexity, they could very well take it.
I mean, it looks that way.
Prediction may be right.
It's going to take a lot from Strictly Business here, but Complexity not going to make anything easy on them. Strictly Business doesn't want anything to be easy. They are hungry. We'll see what happens here, because if they are actually able to take this domination, a huge momentum swing for Strictly Business. Going off with TP, though, seeing what he's able to do to start off the map with, and he's going to be making a move over here. He does pick up the first kill, and he's going to try to play a little bit slow, move up, and it looks like he's going to try to actually move in here toward that A flag and try to put a lot of pressure on SP early on their home flag, but he is shut down.
And here's the risky part now. TP let that player pass right by him, and instead of going to kill him, now they end up capping C, and they're going to go for this trip cap here. Complexity does not have a home flag. Strictly Business with that triple cap. That's going to be dangerous, but Complexity's going to be able to get, you know, C right back for them. But those are the kinds of things that Strictly Business needs to do more of, and that was a kind of a bad call from T, because that player, I guess they thought that they were going to go and get A, but A was way too occupied, and there were no kills being registered in that area. Oh, but TP, though, making up for that one as he was able to get a double on that play. Now let's see if they can advance over to B and cap it.
Yeah, great job by TP there with the cleanup duty. On board with Crim6, just picked up his first kill, and he's going to move over here toward B. Great job by Strictly Business, though, with taking such a good lead early. Up by 13. They are down, like we said, by 24, though, but they are closing that deficit in quick. They are trying to play the capture game and finish that early so they can focus on gaining a lead. Apathy trying to make something happen, picks up one, goes down to the next, and now we actually see the tables turning, and we see the Complexity actually picking up two of the flags, and they're putting pressure on SB, making them stay back to their home flag, and they are going to be content with that 2 cap if they're able to keep it.
Yeah, that's right, especially considering that there's no one going to be around A, and Complexity is going to go for the flip. That is going to be Karma, so he is going to go and cap A. There will be one player there potentially to cause a ruckus out in the back by Strip, and I don't think, oh, Karma ends up, you know, getting taken out on that one. Now we start to see Strictly Business being able to get that B and A control right back for them. This is what they need at this point in the game, because they have been able to establish quite a bit of a lead here. But again, plus 24 for Complexity. That's the lead that they got to start chipping away at, and they have to get loud and vocal.
Yeah, that was a nice try by Karma there. He picks up the B, makes sure he's able to neutralize it, at least not give up those points. But we do see the 2 cap coming in here from Strictly Business, the A and the C flag. Karma's trying to make something happen for this Complexity squad and get them right back into it. And just like we talked about, Golden Boy, look at Apathy, 10 and 5. He is really turning it around, and you see the impact that he has for this team. Very underrated player, playing very well. We're looking at Saints, though, seeing what he's able to do. And he actually takes the knife right to the chest, and that is going to be Sensor now moving around for Strictly Business, trying to see what he can do after his teammate Saints did go down. But
25.
They're actually able, down by 25 right now, they actually are able to move in here, and they're taking the lead.
Yeah, they took the lead of the game. I believe they took the entire lead there.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. So with that said, Complexity now, they're going to be playing on the back foot here. This is a little dangerous territory for them. Sensors moving in on B. He is going to get cleaned up. Fears there and Saints working together. B is going to get flipped by Complexity. 4 down for Strictly Business now as Complexity is beginning to amp things up for this team. But you gotta talk about that. They're 29 points for Strictly Business, Paradox, and that plus 24 has gone away. It seems like Strictly Business, with based on that previous number, would have been up by 5 points. Now this is the time where Complexity, they gotta hold this down and gain that lead right back.
They need to show why they are champions right here. Complexity knows how to play in this situation, and you hear them getting hyped right now. They're simply trying to hold these spots and shut down SB. Great slang coming out, and Aches is actually about to come in and see Apathy. It looks like Apathy doesn't spot him yet, but he has an idea that he's there. Apathy's going to put some shots over there, but Aches actually shuts him down. And once again, SB going 2 down, and we see the double cap still coming in here from this Complexity squad, and this is what they need to do if they want to stay and hold off and be able to take the win. Saints going huge for his squad.
They can still win this game, right? It's a possibility. Down by 19 points here, but they need a big play, and Apathy just can't quite do it. 4 down right now for Strictly Business, and every single time someone's off the spawn, you just see that red line show up. Fears, by the way, a huge disappointment in this matchup. 3-12, 3-13. That's something we simply do not see. But to talk about this as well, Krim is 6-9. He hasn't been adding a lot to that death column, but his teammates have just been able to pick up the slack. Most importantly, Karma, who's currently sitting at 19-9. Honestly, this is it right here. Strictly Business not able to make it happen. It got scary there at the bit, but that is why Complexity, that is why they're champions. They were able to get their composure together and get this win, and that is going to do it. Complexity will take the victory. Moving on.
I think the biggest thing there is that the Slayers on the second half, they just seem to struggle a little bit more from Strictly Business. I do think this squad, though, still has the potential to take down a Complexity squad even later in the tournament if they do end up meeting again. They aren't out of the tournament yet. They did have a little bit of struggles right there, but they're going to go back, they're going to regroup, they're going to talk it over, see what happened, and we'll see what happens from Strictly Business moving forward.
Yeah, that's right, and there you can see all the players, exchanging handshakes and whatnot. Still got to be, good sport at the end of the day. It was a hard-fought battle, but Strictly Business just could not quite find what they wanted there. And, I think Fears has to regroup and not let that loss beat him up, because I know he's going to look at his kill column and he's going to judge himself, and I don't think he should. He's still an amazing player. Going into a very competitive losers bracket, though, it is going to be a challenge, but I expect that we're going to be seeing Strictly Business again on this stream. So Paradox, any final thoughts before we go to a break?
I mean, that's what makes Complexity champions right there. They were able to come back, show such dominant play on the Blitz, take it in S&D, and then come back on the domination to take the series overall.
Yeah.
I mean, Complexity just coming back after losing that first game, and they were able to simply start momentum and keep it moving forward. So great job by Complexity.
All right, guys, well, we're going to go to a quick break. But remember, in order to enter yourself for that giveaway for the DX Racer chair, which I'm sitting on right here, it's all nice and comfy. All you got to do is use the hashtag Elgato20K and make sure you tweet the stream www.mlg.tv to qualify for a chance to win one of these wonderful chairs. With that said, guys, we will see you in a bit for another matchup, which will start very shortly, I promise. My name's Golden Boy, this is Paradox. We'll see you in just a bit.